Okay, this is example 4, and it's actually numbers 71 through 76. So this is an application. So let me just go ahead and get my arrow. Okay, so a football is thrown by a quarterback to a receiver. So here's our quarterback, right? And he throws the ball and the receiver catches it. The points in the figure, right? The points as in ordered pairs show the height of the football, right? There's a certain height in feet above the ground, right? Above the ground. In terms, right? It's a function of the distance in yards from the quarterback. So we're going to use this information to answer a couple of questions in this problem. So again, just to familiarize yourself with, this graph. So we have an x-axis, right? And we have a y-axis. And the x-axis represents the distance of the football from the quarterback. So the quarterback is right here. So if you throw the ball, right, at 4 yards, right, at 4 yards, right, the height, right, of the ball above the ground, of course, maybe 9 feet, right, at 8, it's a little bit higher, at 12, and so forth, right? The y-axis represents the football's height. So we're talking about two quantities. The football's height, obviously above the ground, and of course the distance from the football, the distance of the football from the actual quarterback. Okay, so let's look at number 71, because that's the number. So let me just shrink this a little bit, and we'll come back to it. Just want to make sure we have room. Okay, so 71 asks, find the coordinates of point A and then interpret the coordinates in terms of the given information. So we want to know what the coordinates are, right? What's x and what's y. So if we zoom, whoops, and let me go back to this guy. All right, so if we zoom in, it looks like, and again, I'm just kind of going back and forth here, right? Point A is right here, so it looks like, right, 2, 4, 6, 8. So the distance of the football, right, from the quarterback, that's 2, 7, right? So that's A. So let me shrink this guy and move it back up. So our coordinates are 2, 7, okay? That's it. That's the point. And they also say interpret the coordinates, right? So, I mean, what do these guys really mean? Well, we're talking about two different quantities, right? 2 represents what? Well, I mean, this is the x coordinate, right? So this is in yards, right? And the 7 is in feet. Okay? But, I mean, you want to really interpret this, right? This is just telling me the units. So what I would say, I mean, what does this mean? If you tell me this is 2, 7, this means, right, if the, and then I'm literally just gonna copy that sentence, if the distance, right, of the football from the QB, right, it's quarterback, if the distance of the football from the quarterback is 2 yards, okay, so it's an if-then statement, right? If something happens, right, then what happens? Well, if it's 2 yards, then from, let's see, the distance of the football from the quarterback, so if it's only 2 yards, well, I mean, the height's not going to be that high, right? Then the football's height GHT above the ground is what? Is 7 feet. Okay, so again, you have an input and you have an output. Okay, so the input, if the distance of the football from the quarterback is only 2 yards, then the football's height above the ground is 7 feet. Okay, that's what this means right here. That's the interpretation that they're asking for. Okay, so let's do B, or not B, but, well, find the coordinates of B for number 72. So let's see, let me move this up. Okay, so 72. So now I want to find B. And again, if you look in your book, or if we just zoom in here, we get B. Okay, so I'm getting my arrow. Let's see. B, all right, so there's a receiver. So the distance from the football is from the quarterback. So if it's, let's see, it looks like 28 yards to me. 28 comma probably 7, right? So that's B. And whoops, let me pinch that back. Okay, so the coordinates were 28 comma 7. Again, the interpretation, well, very similar. If, right, and it's literally the same thing. If the distance of the football from the quarterback, right, if it's 28 yards, then, right, so that's my x-axis or x value, right, is 28 yards. Then the, right, football's height, right, obviously above the ground, is, right, also the 7 feet. So again, height above the ground is 7 feet. So that is the interpretation. Let's see. Let's move on to, so 73 and 74. I'm going to go ahead and skip. They're just estimating the points, and you can estimate. That's fine. I want to do 75. And so 75. It says, what is the football's maximum height? So maximum height. Let's see. What is the football's maximum height? Well, if we just look at the graph, right? What's the highest point of the football? Well, it's got to be here, right? The highest, it looks like it is 12, right? And when does that happen? I don't know, maybe 14, 12, right? It's kind of a little bit hard to see if you want to keep zooming in. But definitely 12, right? Again, the distance between the quarterback and the receiver, right? There's a distance. And the height, of course, is a function, right? It depends on the distance of yards. So let's just go back. Let me shrink this. So the maximum height, right, is 12 feet, right? And it happens at, what's the x value? And it should be 15 yards. And 15 yards, right, this is the x value. And this is the y value. Right, again, if you wanted to write this as an ordered pair, this would be 15, comma 12, where 15, right, is the x and 12 is the y. So that is, right, just a little application of what these coordinates, I mean, this is data, what they really mean. So you'll definitely do one in the ICA. So that's it for the application.